ShatterVictim is a theory that's been prevalent in the community for the past few years. I'll leave a link to a more extensive overview of the theory in the description, but here's a short summary. After the crying child dies, his soul splits into 5 pieces that connect to the main 5 animatronics, or perhaps the children who possess them. The mysterious entity from FNAF World sends the crying child to set up the pieces of the FNAF 3 minigames in order to bring the 5 missing kids, and thus himself, back together. In addition to FNAF World, people point to the many similarities between the FNAF 3 minigame's premises and Easter eggs in FNAF 4 as proof of this theory. This is a theory that I've agreed with for a long time, and used as a basis for several other theories over the past year. But recently, I've been thinking more critically about it, and I noticed one major flaw. The minigame connections are incredibly arbitrary, and in most cases, just kinda don't make sense. Let's just go through them in order. People say that BB's Air Adventure... Alright, actually, this is a terrible one to start with, because I can't really argue with this one. They've got the same shirt color, and the same inaccurate balloon color. But from a narrative standpoint, why would this be important enough to represent an entire piece of the crying child's soul? Also, Into the Pit shows that this is an actual in-universe arcade game, so it would be weird if the crying child just, told the programmers to make a game about Balloon Boy with a purple balloon or something. But the others seriously don't make sense even from a purely evidence-based standpoint. People say that Mangle's quest is connected to the Mangle toy in the sister's bedroom, but there's no reason to assume that. They're just both connected to Mangle. It's correlation, not causation. People say that Chica's party is connected to the tiny toy Chica, but that toy is missing its beak, while Toy Chica in this minigame isn't. Also, next to the tiny toy Chica are tiny toys of the other band members, so why would they be there if it's meant to be a reference to Chica's party? It's pretty clearly just a reference to the toy animatronics in general. People say that Stage 01 is connected to Fredbear's Family Diner, and yeah, it is. But that doesn't automatically mean FNAF 4 is specifically referencing it. In fact, the characters are in the wrong spots, and Golden Freddy is there instead of Fredbear. There's also one happy child that disappears, which doesn't relate to FNAF 4 in any way. The crying child was, crying all the time, always hiding under tables. People say that the Shadow Bonnie minigame is connected to the shadows on the wall, but if that's true, why is there also a Fredbear shadow? It seems more like the shadows on the wall are meant to connect to the 2 shadow animatronics in general, not to this one minigame about one of the 2 shadows. The only connection that feels meaningful in any way is how Happiest Day is an inversion of the bite. That one, I'll admit, was obviously intentional. So, what's the point then? Is the crying child only connected to that one minigame? Is ShatterVictim debunked? I've thought about it for a while, but I don't think so. FNAF World pretty much tells us that the crying child's pieces are in the FNAF 3 minigames. I just don't think the minigames themselves are what's important here. I think it's what's hidden beneath them that matters. Most people know about the hidden FNAF 4 box in FNAF World, and how it connects to the pieces put together, which thus connects it to the clocks in FNAF World. But did you know that it's specifically hidden in the first layer of a place called the World Beneath Worlds? You glitch down from one level of a minigame and access another minigame. Doesn't that sound familiar? It should, because you do the same thing in the FNAF 3 minigames. In order to free the kids, you have to glitch outside the bounds of the minigames, oftentimes literally falling underneath them. This is where the crying child's broken pieces are scattered. There's all sorts of creepy agony stuff down here. Shadow balloon boys, shadow cupcakes, but most importantly, the shadow puppet. This thing is crying black tear streaks into the ground, and looks suspiciously similar to the crying child in his final moments. I believe this is the source of the corruption, and it's spilled into the other minigames as well. And this is specifically the minigame where we get the cake that we use to free the children. And it seems to grow a tree in another minigame, which is where we get the balloons to free the children. So, when all the kids are freed, their minigame realms are fixed or perhaps destroyed, and thus the crying child is put back together. It's kinda like how the Sword of Light is used to purge the detached bits of Glitch Trap in the Princess Quest minigames. So, was this all just semantics? Yes and no. It's a minor distinction, but ultimately it's still a pretty important one in my opinion. It has a lot of ripple effects, since it opens back up a lot of mysteries that people thought were resolved by the ShatterVictim theory. Like why the tiny toy Chica is missing her beak, and why a Mangle toy exists in 1983. But that's all I've got for now. I kinda put this script together quickly, cause there's a bunch of new Five Nights at Freddy's stuff dropping really soon, and I want to get this and another bigger video I'm working on out before that, so if I missed something big, let me know in the comments.